Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and today we're discussing our double GW36 team selection where we have made a couple of transfers to try and maximize the number of double gaming players we have. If you guys are liking the FPL videos, then leave a like and subscribe. We are trying to hit 12,000 subscribers by the end of the season and have those notification bells turned on so you don't miss any future team selection videos, as well as knee-jerk reactions, transfer plans, all for the rest of the season. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. So first off, let's have a look at how we got on in Game Week 35. Overall, a pretty poor week from us. It was actually our lowest score this week of points for the entire season, with just a 37 points scored in Game Week 35. A very average game week for us. Looking around the sides there, it was only 3 players that returned out of the 11 starters this week. Also a bit frustrating to see Ramsdale put up 10 points on the bench as well compared to De Gea, who just had the 3 points who was starting. So not a great week for us. Only Salah, Matoma and Kane were able to provide returns. Haaland blanked on captaincy. The triple Manchester United lads all blanked. Also very frustrating to see De Gea make that mistake in goals, costing Manchester United their only goal away to West Ham, which would have given them the clean sheet had that goal not gone in. So a bit frustrating to lose the clean sheet points for De Gea and Luke Shaw. And that is now 2 consecutive weeks where Manchester United defensive mistakes have cost them the clean sheet. Luke Shaw last week gave away the penalty in the 99th minute with a handball, which was very unnecessary. Then this week De Gea makes the mistaken goal. So 2 clean sheets that they could have easily received that they weren't able to put up on the board. Looking around the sides, Stupinan, March also blanked as well. Solly March also picked up that hamstring injury, which did add a bit of an extra negative to this week, having that March injury that we have to deal with. Hopefully he's good for Game Week 36, but if he isn't, McAllister is going to be the likely replacement. I'll have to suss out the Brighton predicted lineups to look at more March injury news in terms of the extent of that injury for him, as of course it's not ideal having a Brighton player being injured coming into double Game Week 36 and at double Game Week 37 for those Brighton assets. So I'm going to want to have at least a triple up on Brighton, and I need all of those guys to be playing for those double game weeks to maximize the FPL points. So maybe March to McAllister could also be another move, but that is purely dependent on injury news surrounding March's hamstring concern. Otherwise, looking to the lads up top, Watkins also blanked. He's definitely a player on the chopping block, and as a player that I will discuss who I've brought in for him coming into double game week 36. Haaland will also remain on the side, and Kane I'm very, very happy with. He was able to get himself yet another goal, has now returned in 10 out of his last 12 matches for Tottenham. He's put up 27 points in his last 3 games. He's finding the net very frequently. He's getting good chances, and of course he is very clinical. Also a good thing with Kane is that he only has a 20% ownership inside the top 100,000 managers, so still a massive differential option. He picks up bonus points when he scores as well, so that's just another advantage of having Harry Kane in the team. And right now I am very happy with triple premiums in the side with Haaland, Kane, Salah. As apart from Haaland and Kane right now, probably Watkins or Isak are only the 2 other standout forward options. You could go for Alvarez as well, but of course you run the risk of him with reduced minutes, so I'm happy to have Harry Kane in the team right now. Mo Salah, of course, another premium that I am very happy with. He's been very good since we've had him in the team. Salah to De Bruyne, though, could be a move that we potentially look to make ahead of double Game Week 37, as of course that Game Week 36 fixture for Man City is surrounded by both of those Champions League semi-final fixtures. Obviously, they played the first leg against Real Madrid earlier on in the week. They have Everton on the weekend, then they have the next fixture of their semi-finals against Real Madrid next week. So I'm not too sure if De Bruyne is going to get the start for Game Week 36. Hopefully, by the time double Game Week 37, De Bruyne comes in, and then Salah can be the move that we get out of the team to bring in Kevin De Bruyne. Otherwise, the rank has dropped 3k from 315k to 318k, so hopefully in the last 3 weeks we can make a strong push towards the top 100k. Not been the best seasons for us so far this year, but I'm excited to see how the team shapes up for double game week 36, where we do have 6 doubling players. So first of all, let's discuss the transfers that we've made this week. So I did touch on March being a potential player that we look to get rid of for McAllister, but we haven't locked in that transfer yet. The one transfer that we have locked in though is Ollie Watkins to Callum Wilson. This is definitely a move that I was eyeing off for quite some time now. It was either going to be Watkins for Isak or Wilson. I have opted to go for Callum Wilson. I think he's getting at pretty similar minutes to Isak across the double game week. Isak maybe will start the first game, Wilson could start the second game. They're both probably going to come off the bench at some point in either of the fixtures if they don't start as well. So I think it's going to be much of a muchness in terms of total minutes for double game week 36. And Callum Wilson per 90 does have a lot better stats. A 0.5 expected goals figure per 90 for Callum Wilson is the second highest out of any player in the Premier League this season, only behind Erling Haaland. So that's extremely good. That's amongst players that have played 1,000 minutes. So Callum Wilson, a really, really good option. He's got great per 90 stats. He is fairly clinical as well. He's got a 13 XG, has returned 15 goals across the year. So Callum Wilson, a player that I'm really looking forward to having in the side. His ownership is less than 10% as well across FPL. So he could be a good differential to have in the sides for this week that can help us increase our rank as we try and make a push towards the top 100k. Making this move, it does leave us with 0.7 left in the bank, and we do have 2 free transfers available this week. We're probably just going to make the one, but if March has been ruled out for double game week 36, we're probably going to make the second free transfer and bring in Alexis McAllister as well. But with these changes in mind, let's have a look at our team for double game week 36. So here is the team for double game week 36. As you can see, a fairly strong lineup for this week. 6 players all doubling this week. Got a couple of Manchester United lads with the Wolves at home, which is a pretty good single game week fixture. And then, of course, the 3 premiums in Kane, Salah, Haaland, all with the single game week fixture as well. I'll discuss Erling Haaland a little bit later on, as I'm not too sure he's going to be a great captaincy pick this week, as I'm a bit concerned about his minutes this week against Everton away. I'm not sure he's going to get the start after playing each of the 2 double game week fixtures for Man City prior to game week 35 as well. He played the game most of the minutes in the game week 35 fixture. Then he's played in the Champions League as well. So now against Everton, I'm not too sure he's going to get minutes, especially with that second leg of the semi-final, which is going to be a massive game after the first match ended in a 1-1 draw. Haaland is definitely going to be preferred for the Champions League fixture over the fixture against Everton, so maybe Alvarez starts ahead of Haaland, but I'm still going to have Erling Haaland in the starting team for my side this week. Even if he comes off the bench and only plays 20 to 30 minutes, he can still find the net in that time, but definitely not going to have him on captaincy this week, especially since there are other double game week options that will be very favourable for captaincy picks. Let's go through the team though. De Gea has been, I've once again stuck with De Gea in goals. Wolves at home is a good fixture. Ramsdale did outscore De Gea by 7 points last week, putting up 10 points. Got himself a clean sheet, triple bonus points, and a save bonus point away to Newcastle. But Ramsdale will remain on the bench with Brighton at home, which is also a decent fixture. Brighton with a couple of injuries up top, assuming if Solly is out as well for this Arsenal fixture. It's going to be a fairly depleted Brighton attack, so Arsenal do have a decent chance of a clean sheet in this game, especially at the Emirates. De Gea, though, on the other hand, faces a Wolves side that have struggled to score goals this season, and hopefully that Manchester United defence can prove strong once more. After a couple of poor mistakes from their defenders leading to goals in the last 2 game weeks, they were quite good in terms of picking up clean sheets before the last 2 fixtures. So I'm still going to stick with De Gea. Hopefully he can redeem himself this week, and hopefully Ramsdale doesn't hurt me on the bench once again, as he did get those 10 points last game week. Looking at the 3 starting defenders though, triple double game week players here. Obviously not having Trent in the defense has hurt us a little bit in terms of the rank, but having having 3 players all with doubles this week starting in defense does give me good confidence that each of my 3 defenders can outscore Trent this week. Trippier has also been given the captain's armband. This is going to be quite an interesting one to watch. I could go for one of those Brighton lads. Maybe Matoma will be my favourite pick from Brighton, but I just don't quite like those fixtures. Yes, it's a double game week, but Arsenal away and Newcastle away, not a great couple of fixtures. The only other player that I'd be looking to captain would be Callum Wilson. Leeds away, Brighton at home is a really good set of fixtures. Once again, though, with Wilson, I only think he's going to start one of these games. He's probably going to come off the bench in the other one, and he probably won't play the full 90 in the game that he does start. So just in terms of the amount of minutes that he's going to get across double game week 36, I think Kieran Trippier could have a significantly higher amount than Wilson. So that is why I'm going to go with Trippier. Newcastle's defence hasn't been the strongest either this season. Sorry, not this season, and in most recent weeks. They haven't recorded a massive amount of clean sheets, and they did ship quite a few goals at home to Arsenal in the most recent fixture. So hopefully they can bounce back. Leeds and Brighton, a good couple of fixtures to be able to do so, especially since Leeds' new manager Sam does play quite a defensive style of football. We'll look to hit Newcastle on the counter attack. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. The only other player that I could look to captain is the single game option in Mo Salah. Leicester away is a really good fixture from an attacking perspective. Leicester have conceded an absolutely bucket load amount of goals since the resumption of the Premier League after the World Cup. So Salah could be a really good option. I wouldn't be surprised if he is one of my more high scoring players this week, despite just having the single game fixture. I think Salah's a really good chance of getting himself a goal, at least one attacking return in this game for Game Week 36 against Leicester, as once again the defence has been so poor, and Liverpool's attack has been scoring quite a few goals recently, so Mo Salah also could be a really good captaincy option. Otherwise, I'm happy with the Stupinian and Botman as well. I'm very happy to have the triple up on Newcastle, as well as the triple up on Brighton. It's going to be a bit nervy watching those Newcastle fixtures, having those two Newcastle defenders. I'll be praying for the Newcastle clean sheets, which they haven't put up a massive amount of recently, especially since the resumption of the Premier League after the World Cup. So hopefully Botman can get me at least one clean sheet this week, which should see us do quite well amongst our defenders. As Stupinian, I wouldn't really expect any clean sheets from him this week, but he has been making good runs towards the box. He's been getting fairly far forward. He's got some pretty good attacking positioning, so he can always chip in with a goal and an assist. And then looking to the midfielders, Rashford, Salah, Matoma, March. It's a pretty solid midfield this week. I'm happy with those lads. Rashford with a good fixture of Wolves at home. Salah, a great captaincy option as well with Leicester away. Matoma hopefully will play or start at least both of the fixtures this double game week, especially since they are such important games against Arsenal and Newcastle. Brighton will be really looking to push towards getting European places. And these are obviously big games against two really good sides. The Matoma should be starting in if De Zerbi wants to be playing his strongest starting 11. Solly March, of course, but that hamstring injury is going to provide us with a selection headache, but I will assess the extent of the injury closer to the deadline and potentially swap him to McAllister. But nonetheless, this player will be a Brighton midfielder, as I still want a triple up on Brighton, especially with the double next week. And then looking at the forwards, it's a pretty strong forward line. Kane, Wilson, Haaland, three players that I'm very happy with in my team. Wilson with a double game with a couple of really good fixtures from an attacking perspective. Brighton just coming off conceding 5 goals to Everton. Leeds haven't been the best this season, also defensively, have conceded some of the most amount of goals this year out of any team. And Kane and Haaland, obviously two elite premium options, both with single game fixtures, but I wouldn't be surprised if they outscore some of my other double game assets. Looking to the bench, it is a pretty strong bench as well. Shaw does sit there against Wolves at home. I didn't want to double up on the Manchester United defence this week, as I'm just not sure I trust it fully, and I think there are better single game picks this week than doubling up on the Manchester United defenders. So Shaw is there against Wolves at home. Ramsdale's there against Brighton away. Henry also has a pretty good fixture as well against West Ham at home, but I am going to opt to bench him, and Andreas does remain in the third bench slot, still with that injury for Fulham. Thanks for watching today's team selection for Double Game Week 36. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, drop a like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 12,000 subscribers by the end of the season, so please try and help us reach that goal. As always, have notification bells turned on so you don't miss any future team selection videos, and of course, knee-jerk reactions, transfer plans videos, Champions League fantasy videos will all be coming your guys' way, so stay tuned for those. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.